Hi there, welcome to Victim to Victor, the podcast dedicated to empowering abuse survivors and inspiring healing, hope, and positive change. I'm Verma, a published author, and in every episode, I'll sit down with a guest and embark on an insightful conversation about trauma, as well as practical strategies to start the healing process. So let's get started. I hope you enjoy the show. And here is our beautiful Bibi all the way from London.
Good afternoon now. Good afternoon.
Oh yes, good afternoon. Happy lunchtime.
Happy lunchtime.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. And as I already have explained to my listeners, you are the founder of Mama Wins magazine, a very successful magazine indeed, and something which I know all of my listeners should be subscribing to. Can they subscribe to the magazine?
They can, definitely. They can head over to our website, subscribe. We don't have any subscriptions. All our content is free. So yeah.
Fantastic. That's amazing. And again, thank you so much for coming on. I can't wait to delve in and to find out about yourself and just about how you started Mama Wins and just about your personal story of abuse. So thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Fantastic. Oh, yeah. So first of all, let's start off with something positive. How did Mama Wins Media begin?
Okay. I'm going to try and give the short, condensed version because I can be quite talkative. So Mama Wins initially kind of stemmed from an abusive relationship. So I was in a bit of a dark place. I'd left my abusive partner, was a single mum of two, found it really, really difficult to juggle everything, to go to work. My boy was like 1 year old at the time. So it was just very, very chaotic period. And then I've always had this notion to kind of work for myself. So one morning, I remember it was 4 years ago, January the 1st, I woke up. I was in my bed and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start putting out content for women that is really, really honest and basically doesn't touch on a lot of things that some of the other media groups and like magazines do not touch on. So that's how it all stemmed. I was just like, you know what? I need to kind of pick myself up. I need to really push forward. There's goals that I need to achieve, that I want to achieve. And I know there's women that have been in my situation as well in the past and have come out of it and you know, just been doing really well for themselves. It's like, you know what, let's create a platform that is dedicated to honest and frank content. That's how we started.
Wow, I love that. And I love that it's raw material because like you said, you know, media is so good at sugarcoating certain situations or, you know, just dramatizing it even, whereas you're raw, you get right stuck into the nitty-gritty of what's really going on. And I love that.
Yeah, I think it's really important. We're women, we're going through life, we're going through like experiences, and why is there not anywhere that kind of really delves on that? Everything is very sugar-coated, everything's airbrushed, you know. We're all about just it's very, very raw and it's really like the content about women who've experienced miscarriages. Some of the content should be censored, but I feel like it's really important to be frank. So yeah,
totally. Oh wow. And yourself, you've got a story of success to share with us today as well, haven't you?
Yes. Do you know what, it's really weird. I've only kind of just realized, like, when you're an entrepreneur, it's like you're really like working hard and you know, there's highs, there's lows, it's all over the place. But if you really look back at how much I've achieved, not to toot my own horn, I feel like I've actually done quite well. So I need to kind of like maintain that mode of like, you know what, you're doing really well.
Absolutely. Empowerment. We have to. If we can't empower ourselves, and who's gonna? Absolutely.
Exactly.
We have to look at ourselves in the mirror and be proud of ourselves. And I know that a lot of people think that that's egotistical, or, oh no, you can't love yourself. You have to love others. No, you have to love yourself first. We are number one,
That's it,
ladies and men.
exactly. If you don't love yourself, who else is going to love you?
Exactly.
You've got to toot your own horn sometimes.
Totally. And look, your journey hasn't been easy. You've overcome some adversities as well to get to where you are. And normally that's always the case. To become a strong woman, you do have to overcome some obstacles in your life. Would you like to talk more about them?
I would agree 100%. I think there's some people, unfortunately, that if they go through something hard, they can find it extremely challenging. But sometimes if you go through adversity, basically, it really kind of lights a fire, ignites you really to kind of push forward and break down the barriers even more. It kind of, I don't know, it just gives you some kind of strength. It's really, really weird. But I would say, my main adversity was my abusive relationship that I went through. So my children's father, after leaving him, I finally kind of dawned on me that he was a narcissist. And I looked a lot at our relationship and the dynamic of the relationship and things that he would say and the way he would treat me. Just he was very, very negative, very angry, a very troubled individual, I would honestly say. And hurt people. That's normally the rule of thumb. And if you don't find healing, then you're just going to continue the cycle of hurting people. And that's what he was doing. So I was in that relationship for about 4 years. I had a daughter with him. Then I fell pregnant with my son about 3 years after my daughter. And when I found out I had a son, I was like, you know what? I can't bring a boy into this dynamic. I don't want to continue that cycle of abuse. I don't want my daughter to see the abuse. And, when she grows up, possibly, not knowing what real love is and not knowing how a real relationship should be, because what we're doing is emulating something that isn't correct. And I left. I left. I was like 6 months pregnant with my son. But it was the boldest step of my life, and I'm so thankful that I kind of had that courage, and like God gave me the strength to kind of take my children out of that atmosphere, that environment, and just change our life, basically. Narcissism is, over the last 3-4 years, I've learned it's a pandemic in itself, to be honest with you. There's a lot of women who've experienced narcissistic abuse and come out feeling that the issue is with them. And if you don't actually find healing and start digging and looking and really almost like just unraveling everything, some women do leave and feel like there's something wrong with them. And I've left that relationship knowing that there's actually nothing wrong with me. It was him. I'm not saying I'm saint or anything like that, but essentially the issues in the relationship were with him. And I hope he finds his healing. I know I have, and I've moved forward. I'm just so happy that do you know, it's weird. I'm actually happy that I had that experience, because now if I hadn't had that experience, I wouldn't be where I am now. And I know a lot of people say that, but it's true. Adversity sometimes it spirals you to just be the best person you can be.
Oh, absolutely. And I suppose, when we're in this positive state, it really does make you appreciate more where you are now, because you've been down in the valley, in the dark dungeons, you've been there stuck. I mean, and 4 years in a toxic relationship, that's a long time.
It's a lot. It does a lot to you. It does a lot to your self-esteem, your self-confidence, the negative words that are constantly being thrown at you. You start to believe that they're true. It's like psychological warfare. Like you literally just like in a tunnel, and if you believe all these things that are being said to you, it can really just keep you in this dark place.
Totally, Kanya. But did you notice kind of a few months in the relationship that things weren't right?
Yeah.
because we know about the stages of narcissism, and I take it he went through all those stages.
Yeah, those good old red flags were there waving in my face, and I was batting them away.
God.
Yeah. I noticed, I mean, initially I think this is normally the trait with how narcissists work. It starts with love bombing. So they basically, I love person. I love love. Like, I love relationships. I love family life. Like, so it's even worse when you have that kind of personality trait where you're in love with love. So when you find somebody who you think is showering you with all these like compliments, and you just think, oh my God, this is my Prince Charming. It's happening for me. Like, this is the person that I've been waiting for all my life. So you're kind of going through it with tunnel vision, and you're just accepting the compliments. So it moves really fast, but you're not actually consciously thinking there's anything wrong with this. So the red flags were definitely there. There were behaviors that were quite concerning. He didn't have a good relationship with his family. His views of women weren't particularly positive. One of the biggest red flags to look out for. So I saw them, but from not having the knowledge, I didn't acknowledge them.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you find as well it is it affects obviously our self-esteem, but also I think in order for us to be in that relationship in the first place, we're lacking self-worth anyway?
Yeah. Do you know what? To be honest with you, when I look back at it, I do believe that. I do also believe that there's it's a generational thing as well. So I feel like it can stem from your childhood. So if you have a narcissist within your family dynamic and they don't treat you particularly right, that's your impression of love. That's your impression of how a relationship should be. So then you can, I do think you can have confidence and you can have self-esteem, but you can still fall in love or get swept away by a narcissist. So your family dynamic, and if you've been around narcissists in the past, has a big
absolutely. And plus they're drawn to naivety, vulnerability, and just women they can sense, can't they, that we're in need of their attention, so they'll just love it, won't they? And empaths, they love empaths.
I was going to say that I'm a big empath. I'm trying to like
I can sense. Absolutely, I can sense that, and I can just imagine that whatever's happened, it's made you stronger. I can see that. And how about in motherhood? How are you now with your kids?
Oh God, we're thriving. We're really, really thriving. My girl's 11. Oh God, my boy is 6. It's hard, I'd say, as a single mum to balance work life and motherhood. It's a constant juggle. I feel like if I was not an entrepreneur and wasn't working for myself, I'd probably find the struggle a little bit more harder, if I'm honest with you. Being an entrepreneur, I kind of I have the time to kind of delegate, and I have the time to kind of be a mom, switch off with my kids, and then have that work time as well separate. So we're thriving, me and my little family.
That's beautiful. And how about becoming your best self? Because I know you're all about, empowering others and empowering your kids. How do you do that? What is your routine for,
Oh, what's my routine? So my routine recently has kind of changed. It's a bit of a crazy morning, getting the kids up out of the house.
Absolutely,
But they have their own little designated routine after they've gone off to school. Then I'm kind of focusing on me time. I was in the habit initially of getting the kids to school, getting straight into the emails, getting straight into what needs to be done, what I need to delegate, who I need to email, who I need to call. And I find that life was really frantic. So I've switched off from that. I've taken my morning, maybe an hour or hour and a half for me. So I normally do some meditation in the morning. I journal. I'm trying to factor in a morning walk as well. But I'm constantly on my phone looking at emails as well. So that's not really going too well.
Absolutely, I understand that one.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean, I think, yeah, you just have to really have self-awareness and know what you
mm,
need. Um, and not be afraid to put yourself first as a mum. I think I've
yeah,
learned that over the last 3 years, especially. Like, children are challenging, parenthood is challenging, motherhood is extremely challenging, especially if you're doing it by
God.
yourself. So you can only be the best mum for your kids if you're the best
Yeah,
in yourself. So
true.
yeah, putting yourself first, I think, is a
Big one.
priority. Yeah, for everybody.
I love that. I love that. And
Mhm.
I know that, with Mama Media, you're all about honesty. And so what is it? What actually motivated you to actually have this, morale for Mama Wins?
Mm. Well, I think before I became a mother, when I looked in women's magazines or motherhood magazines, it was all airbrushed
Mm.
bellies and airbrushed skin. There was no diversity. It was really just quite flat. And like, I'm experiencing pelvic pain and like postnatal depression, feeling
Yeah,
really bad, and everything just seemed like
absolutely.
like pregnancy should be wonderful. And I was like, that's not the case. Who is telling
Right.
me? Why are these magazines telling these women this? Like,
Yeah,
it's not all fairies and glitter.
not like
Like,
that.
there are dark
Exactly.
sides. So I think
Exactly.
becoming a mother, I was like, no, there needs to be something out there that's really frank, where
Mm,
women can go to and read this article and be like, oh my God, I'm not the only one. This woman has experienced an
yeah.
abortion and felt really bad, or this person's experienced abuse, and this is her story. Oh my God, it's similar to my own. Like, I just felt like there needed to be more voice for women to express themselves,
Wow.
and for women to come and find that content as well.
Yeah. And how do you actually find all your articles? Do you like kind of put requests out for women to
Um,
come forward?
yeah, sometimes we
Mm.
have like a group of writers that kind of carousels. So we have some women who email us, and like they want to write 3 articles, or they have this advice that they want to put out there.
Okay.
Would like to work with them. So it's
Yeah.
normally, we have a carousel of like a few writers, and then we have people that want to write for us as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that's good to know. Obviously, in case my listeners want to share an extraordinary story, then
Yes, we are for sharing any content.
oh, fantastic. Yeah. And what do you think has been your biggest achievement today?
Hmm. I would say my self growth.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
uh, I would put work aside.
Yeah.
I'd almost put motherhood on the back burner of that as well. But I think self growth, to be honest with you, because I think
Yeah.
that I've changed so much and I've learned so much about myself over the
Mm,
last, give or take 3 years, and I've really become very, very self aware of things that I need to change
yeah.
within myself. Um, Implementing boundaries,
Okay.
understanding my own self worth. So
Mm,
I think that's been my biggest achievement, self growth, just
yeah.
learning myself and understanding myself and growing as a person.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. And I can see that. I can see you're very self-aware and it's all over the media, isn't it? About becoming woke. A lot of us are becoming woke now. Had to
Yeah.
Google that term up actually. I didn't even know what it meant. So it's like we're waking up to reality, and so many are now on a spiritual journey, and I love it. I just
Yeah.
love that, a lot of intuition in the air. People aren't believing everything they're seeing on the media, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
conspiracy theories out there for everything that people see. I love it.
Yeah. No, I think it's really, really important, because I think
Mm,
a lot of us are sheep, to be honest with you. And
yeah.
I still wear my wool now and again, but
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, keep warm. Yeah,
yeah, keep
yeah.
warm, like, bury myself a little bit. But yeah, there's everything isn't as it seems. I don't want to say too
Mm,
much, but the world is changing. It's changing
yeah,
drastically.
it
And
is.
with that comes people's perceptions, and change is good. So even
It
though we're
is,
going through
yeah.
this crazy time at the moment, at the end of it, we're hoping that our mindsets will be changed. The next
Yeah,
generation, they will change, hopefully.
absolutely. Our
Yeah, we'll be
kids.
better people. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. We're the
yeah.
most important. next generation.
It is.
If they're not stuck on TikTok all the time.
Oh God, I know. It's like all these other apps, everyone keeps saying, are you on Fireside, are you on this? I'm thinking, I can't keep up, I don't have all this time. It's, you know, too much. Yeah, exactly. And so I just wanted to ask, obviously I don't want to keep bringing up that toxic relationship, but I know that you're healed from it. But and the fact that there's so much out there now about sociopaths and narcissists and just all these psychological disorders that these poor perpetrators, or whatever you want to call them, I'll call them perpetrators because they're out to abuse, right? I mean, there's so much out there now. Do you think that that's going to change the amount of partners that these perpetrators actually attracts into their lives? Because I know a lot of them just go on from the next partner to the next partner to the next partner, just keep traumatizing all these poor like women or men.
No, I definitely think with awareness and with conversations, then we can kind of not nip them in the bud completely, but had I known of the terminology narcissism and narcissistic abuse and had that in the forefront when I was dating many years back, then I probably would have been able to look at those key signs initially. So I'm happy that the conversation is happening. I'm happy that more women are like, oh, is he a narcissist? And are questioning things a lot more, because it keeps it keeps it at the forefront of your mind. And if you feel in your gut that something isn't right, then you should trust that. And if you have that knowledge as well, then you can piece that together and think, okay, you know what? No, this isn't right. This isn't for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Intuition never lies. And I know so many times I've just totally ignored my intuition because I didn't trust in it. And that's again due to low self-worth. So absolutely, you're right, where it's all about making sure that, we love ourselves, or just on that journey of loving ourselves, and that, we work on our self-development and awareness. We are self-aware, and that we eventually start to trust our intuition if we're not trusting it already.
Yeah, no, definitely 100%. And then also I think it's about because a lot of these narcissists, they're not really self-aware. That's another issue as well. So I think the more you look at yourself and the more you kind of, if you are a narcissist, you can get healing, you can get support. So if we have these conversations, and I don't know if narcissists ever look at themselves in the mirror and think, hey, what I'm doing isn't quite right here. But
wow. Yeah. How many do that? That's the question. Oh, God,
it never happens, does it?
They literally live their lives thinking that the world's awful and they're the best.
That's it. The world revolves around them. It's terrible. Yeah, it's a terrible way to be.
Yeah. And I know that there's women narcissists out there, so I guess we can't really be sexist in that sense. But it's not so easy to spot with a woman, isn't it? I've noticed.
No, I would say no, because of our gender. I'm thinking of in dating. I'm just thinking because of our gender roles, women are more like, okay, passive, and they don't really. Some women do, but it's really, really at the forefront when it's a narcissistic male. Like the Tinder Swindler, for instance. I don't know if you watch that.
Oh God, absolutely. It just made me laugh at the end when he's saying, I'm going to sue Netflix. Thinking, well, I'm sure Netflix has made them multi-millions by now. They don't mind a bit of suing going on.
No, he's making money off his narcissism and what he's done in the past. So it's just like, what could you do? You are a narcissist. Like,
exactly right. I know, but I just love that these programs are out there, just again spreading that awareness that, oh my God, this is what deceit looks like. It's all goodness. Oh boy, but oh no, that's amazing. So again, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your personal story. And I know that you're already impacting so many moms and just women, probably men as well, right?
Yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, we've had a few male writers come on board as well. And
excellent. That's good. Yeah. So
really
Yeah, soon it'll be Mama and Dada wins.
Or of a mouthful, yeah.
Oh wow! So as you know, this podcast is for survivors of abuse and trauma. Abuse can be like domestic abuse or sexual abuse. What are your kind of final words, or just words of inspiration that you'd like to share with my listeners?
I think it's really important that we live in our truth and share our stories. I think the only way we can kind of break this cycle of abuse is to share what we've gone through. I know for some people it's really hard, but if you think that there's someone out there who may be experiencing what you've experienced and do not have the content to turn to, or do not have the family to turn to kind of like understand what they're experiencing and how to get out of it. Just sharing your story can change that whole dynamic. Like, you can help so many women by sharing your story. So
okay.
And also just moving forward with self-love, really finding that like healing within you. Meditating really, really helps for healing. Reading, increasing your knowledge, just knowing that you're a valuable person. Seriously, and just pushing forward with that and achieving your goals. Achieving your goals just really helps with moving forward in life. So
it does, doesn't it? Yeah. Wow, I love that. And I think goal setting is important. And I know that a lot of people forget about their goals because they just get so traumatized and just so stuck in the past that they kind of forget what their desires and what fulfills them. So important.
Completely agree. Definitely, especially if you're a mother as well, you can forget your goals and abandon your dreams. Which is, I don't know, for some women they want to stay at home, which is perfectly fine. You're a woman that still has things that you want to achieve. You need to bring that to the forefront and live that. We have one life. So bring it to the forefront and go get your dreams, girl.
I love that. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that's amazing. I'm sure my listeners have been inspired. And where can they find you then if they want to follow you?
Cool. So our platform is Mama Wins Media. So it's www.mama-wins.com. That's the magazine. We're also on Instagram. I'm sure you'll leave the Instagram handles and things like that. And I am Bibi Milla on Instagram as well. So you can find me there.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. And I will be adding all the links for my lovely listeners to contact you and to follow you and to read your amazing articles on your magazine. So listeners, please do catch Bibi on the social media channels. And again, thank you so much for coming on and for sharing your story. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me, and lovely meeting you.
Oh, likewise. Thank you. So listeners, that's all we have time for today. We do love you, and please do stay blessed, stay empowered, and keep shining your light. And I'll be back in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Victim to Victor. Subscribe so you don't miss out on new episodes, and be sure to follow the podcast on socials to keep updated on what's next, and share Victim to Victor with family and friends to help grow the community and spread the positive healing energy. You may also wish to join me on the path to self-discovery and sign up to my 12-week self-empowerment plan, which will be linked below.